Every day in our country, there are families who need help. But for many of these families, finding the services they need is a major effort. Ironically, services are often available from government, communities, and faith-based groups, but there's no simple way to find and access these services. Whether it's support in finding a job, affordable housing, or childcare, we all know there is a need, and we know these services exist. So where's the disconnect? Health and Human Service experts are going on the record to explain the disparity and what's being done about it.
I think one of the challenges for families who are in difficult situations, there's a lot of opportunities and services out there, but they don't know how to find them and they don't know how to connect with them. And our job as government agencies is to make it easier for them to discover the programs and services that they need to help improve their lives. Our years of experience in working in a government agency with multiple programs and multiple services that are available is that customers often get overwhelmed by the government process. The government bureaucracy makes it very confusing and very overwhelming for them. And a lot of times they end up just giving up. And what we want to do is help them to understand that connecting with those services are possible. And as they engage in those services, it provides them an opportunity to help solve the problems that are immediately in front of them. We don't want them to fall through the cracks. And oftentimes, government in and of itself kind of creates that path for them.
How can we make the system better? Reorganize the programs and services already in place, or turn inward, taking a hard look at the structures and process that make it hard to connect to these services? Lori Wolf believes it's the latter and provides insight on how this can be accomplished.
A lot of times, government agencies get wrapped up in trying to just build a whole bunch of programs and thinking that the bigger the problems get, the more government is needed. And we actually think exactly the opposite. Rather than creating more programs or adding more money, what we need to do is combine our services and our talents and our agencies and partners in a way that makes it easier for customers to connect.
Lori and her staff at the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare carefully examined every aspect of their workflow and protocols. What they found confirmed the challenges she suspected were there. But most importantly, the team realized that their programs were delivered with an entitlement perspective rather than an empowerment perspective. This discovery gave rise to the Live Better Idaho initiative, a platform that is finally connecting Idahoans to the programs and services they need.
LiveBetterIdaho.org was created to help individuals who are in search of services or things to help them improve their lives. They could quickly connect with government services. We've also tried to change the environment about what a government agency is and talk more about the services in ways that they empower a family versus the government entitlement language around deadlines and if they get in trouble if they don't do something right. A lot of times those messages disincentivize individuals in terms of connecting with these services, and what we want to do is empower them. So we talk more about not only how do we help you connect with these services, but how do we create a long-term path for these customers to find better mentoring, better training, so that their long-term path is financial stability.
As the largest agency in Idaho, they turned the old government mindset on its head, creating an environment of inclusion and integration for both Idaho families and the community-based organizations who are critical in the overall effort to help families.
I've been working in vocational rehabilitation in Idaho for many, many years, and typical self-help resources have always had a stigma or negative connotation to it. Live Better does not speak to that at all. Live Better speaks to something that we all want as citizens of Idaho, that isn't bound by race, that isn't bound by ethnicity, that isn't bound by class or culture. It speaks to dignity, is really what it speaks to, and that's really what all citizens of Idaho want.
Live Better Idaho is designed to be customer-centric and easy to use, while Idahoans seek, find, and access services online.
As I was getting ready to retire from employment, I knew that I was going to need some kind of gap insurance to cover me until the time I reached full retirement and Medicare eligibility. So I went out to the state of Idaho's Live Better Idaho website, and I found some valuable information on insurance coverage. and I found that it was easy to navigate, and I was able to find the information I was looking for on the various plans and cost, which gave me some peace of mind on being able to find that information easily.
So our mission at the Department of Health and Welfare is to help families live better. And when we developed livebetteridaho.org, the idea was, how do we get the consumer closely connected with the services? And when we approach the family as a person first and a low-income individual second, we began to put choices and opportunities in front of them in a way that empowers them to make different choices about their lives.
If you're an Idahoan in need of help, or if you're an organization looking to help, visit us online today.